Hey everyone. Add women. Change budgets. Underused policy tool finds new fans in Trudeau cabinet. So, well, this is of course being reported by the CBC. Did I even have to say it at this stage of the game? Pretty sure most people that listen to my videos already understand that if it has anything to do with promoting fucking women, right, in politics, then yeah, it's CBC. They're always front and center in the stage in the promotion of women in politics, which is a little bit disconcerting when you understand what politics is all about, right? There's a t-shirt for sale on the Liberal Party's website that features the slogan, "Add women, change politics." You can't say self-described feminist Justin Trudeau isn't trying. Oh, definitely can't say that, right? First, he picked a half-female cabinet. 4 of the 5 Liberal candidates in the by-elections now underway are women, including those in 3 ridings Liberals won in 2015 and look to win again. But changing politics or its politicians is one thing. Changing policy is another. That's one of the reasons March 22nd's federal budget will be worth watching. The Finance Department will include something that's never been offered before, a gender-based analysis for budget measures. Right? Okay. It's the latest way Liberals are trying to walk the walk, or trying to walk the talk they campaigned on in the last election. Sometimes I wonder if this is done to raise awareness about many other issues. I'll read on. You'll see what I'm talking about. We will consider the gender impacts of the decisions we make, the Liberal platform promised. Public policies affect women and men in different ways. Finance Minister Bill Morneau's fall economic statement promised more rigorous analysis to deliver real and meaningful change. But what does that mean? Social Development Minister Jean-Yves Duclos offered reporters a preview last Friday. One of the highest profile things his government has introduced so far is a good example of more gender-sensitive policies, he said. The Canada Child Benefit, CCB, is helping lift about 200,000 parents out of poverty, and about 70% of those are mothers, he said. So anyone that's listening to the video, if you pay attention to Molyneux and the kind of stuff he reports on, and I mean objective that you can't be denied, right? Like, it's not like he just pulls shit out of the air, right? So listen up. Almost half of the children that are being lifted out of poverty because of the CCB are in single parent families. And 90%, let me repeat that, 90% of these single parent families are headed by women, the minister said. So once again, this goes back to, like I say, and the reason why, think about it, 90% of single households are headed by women. And why is that? Because men, I'm not even going to have to say it, but yeah, men have been put at the back of the bus when it comes to having any power or sway as far as government is concerned and in regards to the children. And I wonder why that could be. I mean, they talk about us living in the world of male-dominated everything, and male is this, and misogyny this, and misogyny that, but yet 90% of single families are headed by women. But what, men are stronger? Why aren't the men just taking the kids and going with them, right? Is it that all men just don't care about their kids? No. I think we all know the true answer to that question. Trudeau's team didn't invent gender-based analysis. Canada made a commitment at the 1995 United Nations Conference on Women to ensure that before policy decisions are taken, an analysis of their impact on women and men, respectively, is carried out. But progress in the 22 years since has been slow. The Auditor General has scolded the government twice for its tepid embrace of gender analysis. Most recently, after an audit completed in the final year of the former Conservative government, among over 100 federal departments and agencies, only 30 had committed to it by early 2015, and 6 of those hadn't fully implemented it. It's a fair amount of reading still left in it. like I say, I'll post a link to this article in the description of this video so you can read on. But when I look through it, it's nothing that I think that really is going to add anything to this conversation. Like I say, if there is, as per usual, comment on the video and tell me, hey, you missed it on this aspect and this is important. And I'll subsequently follow up on that. I have no problem with doing that stuff. But really what we're talking about is, yes, and we all know this, okay? Single women love the welfare fucking state, right? I mean, because they don't have to. Think about it. Think about how much work and effort it would be to have to function where you have to come up with some kind of decent relationship with the father of your children, or try to get along and have a proper functioning relationship where you get to raise them with both of you actively involved on a continual basis in their life. But because women, and I mean, we know this, like we know this because, I mean, I'm not a woman, but think of it. If I'm a woman, if I'm very good at putting myself in other. So if I'm a woman living in Canada today, I realize that I can have as many kids as I want. Matter of fact, the more I have, the more beneficial it is to me as far as having the ability to live a pretty decent lifestyle, still be able to provide for my kids because there's so many ways the government will help me along the way, right? So what would I ever need a father? But that will help you as far as income security goes. But think about what you're doing to the child, the psychology of what's happened to the child without a father in their life, right? Whether it's a young girl or a young boy, the psychology, the compassion, the rationality of having, multiple influences from different sexes in their life, right? Those are things that are so fundamentally important in raising, well-functioning, well-adjusted human beings. Is you can't have just one side of the sex constantly inundated and propagated to a child without having a proper balance. And we should all understand this instinctively if you're an adult now, right? As a child, you might not, but as an adult, you should understand, of course, kids need to have male and female influence in their life. That's the great balance. That's what creates the best, well-rounded, most well-adjusted children, is to have proper balances of sexual influences in their life. The minute you counter that proper balance and put more favor on one side of it, right, male or female, is, well, look at the world we live in. This is the reality. This is what we're seeing constantly. Why there's all this fight and all this civil strife. I mean, think about how many divorces. Think of how many well, like I said, look at how rampant it is. There's so many single women raising kids. But would they be willing, or would they be even happy or slightly willing to raise kids? If the welfare state didn't exist, how many women do you think that would be willing to want to raise them on their own, right? If they hadn't have the ability to look to the state that can force people to pay for them, they'd be probably much more responsible in their reproductive rights and their reproductive, like I say, expand that to any other aspect in your life, right? Take the safety net away for people, and it teaches them to be much more responsible. Now, it's okay to have some very small underlying, or don't even give them the pretense, but that's the thing about removing the state. People will always help each other out for the most part. There might be the very few rare exceptions that people will be just left to fuck it on their own device. And I can't imagine who they are or how you would live in a world where nobody cares about you, right? But as we all know, most people will jump into the fray. But if you realize that, there's a central plan entity that will do that for you, that's a disincentive for people to help each other out, or to be nice to each other, to cohabitate, or to coexist, or to cooperate with each other. The state removes all the proper balances that is the human experience. Even in the animal kingdom, it would be the same in the animal kingdom. If there was some central planner that could dictate and control the animal kingdom, you'd realize that you wouldn't have lions that would be properly doing what they're supposed to be doing to sustain their ability to thrive and survive. They would all, if there were politics in nature would cease to exist. We'd be going already through a fucking apocalyptic moment. Human beings are already on that level, And we're fast approaching that point where we're going to come to another situation where you're going to have massive civil strife, division, hatred, anger it's going to boil up at some point in time, because people get to a stage in their life where like, well, okay, I've done most of the good that I've done. I might as well stand up and do the thing now that I've been putting off forever. And when that happens, like I said, that's when you get to the point where, yeah, if you do get to that point, it could take decades. I mean, a lot of pain, anguish, suffering, hardships. Needlessly, no one wants to have to put up with that stuff just to learn lessons that have already been explained and taught so many times that people should know and understand them instinctively. So, yeah. Stop this bullshit with promoting, being a single mother or a single woman on welfare. That should be looked down upon, not promoted, and not espoused in a manner that they should be respected in any way, shape, or form. We've got to get back to making family first. That's how you eliminate the power of the state, of central force, of central coercion, of central planning, is embolden and strengthen the family unit. That's the most powerful thing that people can do, is strengthen the family unit. If you don't like central planning, forced subjugation, strengthen the family unit. That's the only way to counteract and counterbalance those that want to use political process and political power against you. It's Canadian Libertarian. I love liberty.